Alrighty. Good morning again, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. Do drop a message and say hi. I hope you're doing super. We have a new president for the US. Donald Trump has reclaimed the US presidency. Uh, Not much to talk about on that, but just a reminder of that. The dollar index is retracing slightly from the high overnight. We'll look into that. And more importantly, tonight we do have the BOE, the Bank of England, with the interest rate decision. And much later on, the US FOMC with the interest rate decision. Both the central banks are looking at a 25 basis point rate cut to come. We'll talk more about that as we look into the charts. But first, alrighty. Oops, what happened here? Let's see. Push that a bit. Okay. Looks a little bit slanted. Hang on a second. There we go. That should be better. Okay. Hey, see and look all, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Hey, Jumarinas, good morning. Hey, Noachuku, good morning. Hey, Robbie, 3 high fives. How you doing? Hope you're doing super. Now, if you are on the session, do remember to drop a message and say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from, right? And also, but before all that, I think you can see me okay, hear me all right. Put it into the chat and let me know. Yeah, all works fine. Okay. Yeah, you can help me out massively by remembering to click on that like and subscribe button. That would help a lot. And if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put it into the chat and let me know. Wait, not too. Oh, okay. I don't know why. You said sound all good. I thought you said no sound at all. I'm going crazy. I'm going absolutely nuts. Yeah. Thanks for that, Noachuku. So yeah, if you have any questions, put into the chat and let me know. Okay. Let me see. All good. Everything seems to be working super. Okay. Now. There's no big surprise. There's no big surprise that we've seen the results. Trump victory comments. Trump has won re-election, has reclaimed the U.S. presidency. So that's done. We saw as a result, or the immediate impact of that victory was a big push to the upside on the dollar index. So it went from 103.45 during election, during the count. I'll zoom in a bit more. During the count, it went all the way up to 105.18. It sat around that point, and then, like I was saying, we look for it to. This is where we were yesterday. Look for it to test that support at 104.80 before pushing back up to 105.45. So it's done that exactly. Right, came down, tested, and pushed right up. Dollar strength, Trump winning the election, leading to dollar strength. We've seen all that happen already. So no big surprises there. Then everything else was overshadowed, right? Yesterday we had some news event come out, but everything was overshadowed by Trump winning the re-election, through to today, we even had RBNZ governor speaking at the Financial Stability Report before the Finance Select meeting in Wellington. It didn't do too much. It was still driven by the dollar. At 6 a.m. GMT plus 8, we had RBA Governor Bullock speaking along with testifying at the Senate Economics Legislation Committee in Canberra. Again, we did see the dollar, we did see the Aussie and the Kiwi push up, but I wouldn't say it's because of that news event. It was more because of the dollar retracing back. And a whole bunch of news today. I'm not bothered at all. Prices have been pretty much sitting right across relatively. Um, in the lead up, the next focal point, the next focus will be on the BOE at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. All right. At that time, we have the BOE with their interest rate decision looking to take rates down from a 5 to a 4.75%, a 25 basis point rate cut to come from the BOE, likely with voting to go 081. Nobody voting to hike rates, 8% voting to cut rates, and one committee member voting to keep rates on hold. That's what we're looking for. Not expecting any surprises here from the BOE. If they do cut rates by 25 basis points, we should see some weakness on the pound dollar. Yeah, like I said, not expecting any surprises. The main thing to look out for would be at 8:30, where Governor Bailey from the BOE speaks, reflecting or explaining the decision of a potential rate cut of 25 basis points. The main thing to watch out for would be his comments on future rate cuts, the timing of future rate cuts, the magnitude of future rate cuts to come, right? Where does he think rate cuts would likely end up at, or rate levels would end up at? It's gone are the days, which I think I think gone are the days where we'll see, rates at zero or near zero. So it's only how much lower can it get. So those are the things that we'll be watching out for. That's at 8 p.m. tonight, GMT plus 8. And then all the way through to 3 a.m. I hate it when there's daylight saving, because this should have been a 2 a.m. Timing, but because of daylight saving, because of what's happening, it's only because of daylight saving. It's now at 3 a.m. GMT plus 8, where we have the US Fed Reserve, the FOMC, the Fed Open Market Committee, deciding on the interest rate decision, looking to take it down from 5 to a 4.75 as well. So a 25 basis point rate cut expected from the Fed Reserve. It does at this point look relatively priced in, but still looking at some downside. The big focus will be on the press conference. What will Chair Powell say? I can tell you that there's going to be a lot of questions about how President Donald Trump, or whether President Donald Trump is going to have an impact on future rate cut decisions. Technically, president or government and central bank should operate independently, but could Chair Powell even be in Chair Powell? Could Chair Powell still be Chair Powell with the President Donald Trump reclaiming the seat, because he might bring in his own Fed Reserve chairperson, right? So that's going to be the question, and the policies that President Trump might introduce or is likely to introduce. Now markets are expecting it to be quite a could have an impact on inflation. Could be inflationary because um, it's tariffs, it's protectionism, it's going to bring price up. With the Fed Reserve having somewhat declared victory on inflation, on the inflation fight, could that come back up? Could that be another focus again? Right. So those are the questions that we'll be paying attention to during the press conference. That will come up. I don't think Chair Powell will give a clear answer. I think he will try and circumvent or whatever the word is to skirt around the question, skirt around the answer, because it's still a little bit too early to say, right? So still expecting some downside on the dollar, but it might be quick spikes before a continuation back up again, possibly, right? So we look into that where we look at the charts. With that, then tomorrow as well, we'll end off the week with the Canadian employment numbers. I'll tell you more about that during tomorrow's session. So the main two things to look out for today is the Bank of England with their interest rate decision, 25 basis point rate cut most likely, and the FOMC with their interest rate decision as well, a 25 basis point rate cut most likely. Let's do a quick check of the CME Fed Watch tool. And while that's loading, a quick hello to Angel Case. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for liking the article that I was sharing with you guys. Richard as well, good morning. Hope you're well. Hey, Rita, good morning. Hey, Bubes, how you doing? Hope you're well. Okay, now, um, this was just yesterday. Sorry for my eyes. This was just yesterday. No chance of a 50 basis point rate cut. A 3.6, a slight chance of rates staying on hold. But now, in about 12 hours' time, in 12 hours' time, we have the FOMC with their rates decision, and the percentages have changed slightly, where we're looking at no chance of rates staying on hold, 96% chance of rates getting cut by 25 basis points, and a slim chance of rates, 4% of rates being cut by 50 basis points. So something to look out for. I don't think we're going to see a surprise, but we're possibly looking at that 96% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. Okay, any questions at this point, put it into the chat and let me know. And hey, Bill, how you doing? Hope you're well. Now, with all that said, let's look into the charts. Here we are. Here we are with the dollar index. As we were talking about President Trump yesterday, 6th of November. Yeah, today is the 7th, yeah. President Trump was in. Further strength expected to 105.45, which we saw. Retrace briefly, stay above 104.80. It did that. So that's all done. Beyond that, it could reach 106. It didn't get to that point. So that's done. We'll take it away. Now, at this, let me just extend this up to that point. 38.2 is still there. That's good. 23, I don't really need 23. Okay. Now let's see. Dollar coming back down to that support level. Check this overall move up. It's down to that 38.2 level. So it's in this region that it could be interesting. That's where we are right now. Okay. And sorry, I'm dying. I'm dying for my tea, so I just got my tea and he put it away. It was right within my reach. I was gonna reach for it, and then he just swung and put it on another table. I was like, "Oh, what happened? I need my tea." All right, give me a second. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea as well. All right. Back to it. Um, so yes, dollar index now sitting along that 104.80 support level. I want to see it come back down. That's no longer a resistance. Sorry, that's a support as well. Um, I don't even think that it should be a good support. I think that we can adjust this down and this back up. Right, so I'll catch this here at 103.40. I'll catch this at 103.40. Someone just spilled a whole cup of tea, of coffee. And then I got 104 is a nice round number here. It's all happening in my office right now. A lot of activity, a lot of drama right now because the markets are not doing too much. Okay, so now I get distracted. Now. Dollar back down. Okay, so what I'll be looking for here would be sevens. I'll still keep the President Trump there because it's still relevant. Now, if it closes down, if it breaks below this point, we could see this push down to 104. So firstly, you're looking at dollar index break below support at 104.80. Let me just check something there. What you see, so that's why I want to check my Bollinger as well. Just slightly, so it's still testing, so it might retest a little bit before trading back down. I want to see it break 104.80. If it does that, could trade down to 104. I don't think it's gonna move that much though. I don't think it's gonna move that much. Let me see. The last time was on the 19th of September where they did a 50 basis point rate cut. Okay, just let me check something first. So 19th of September was just right there, I think. Yeah. So, that was a nice downtrend before. And then on the rate cut decision, we saw the dollar 50 basis point rate cut decision. We saw the dollar index push down from 100.90, pretty much 100.90, down to 100.20, about there, before pushing right back up again. So now, if I take that magnitude, it's not always the case, right? I'm just using it as a bit of a basis of comparison. What am I doing? Yeah. All right. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So that's what we're thinking. If it breaks below, could see it trade down. So that's why I was just thinking I don't see it coming down to that 104 level. As much as I would like to see that happen, seems like it might be a slim chance. Okay, I'll tell you what. Break below support level and that 104 support level and 104 60 could trade down to 104 round number. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to look for. If it breaks below this point, we could see it trade down to 104 round number. After that, what we could see is that it might even drop down to 103.40, but I think that if it comes down to that point, we could see it bounce right back up again. Right? Because like I measured that move on the 19th of September, that was at the 2 a.m. mark. It was dropping before that already. So I think that we could see it come back down a little bit and then after that continue lower. So break support 104.80 and 104.60 could trade down to 104 round number. Beyond that 103.40, but could rebound strongly. There we go. Does that make sense to everyone? Put it into the chat and let me know. I've just been rambling on a little bit about how this could move, but I think that this is kind of the plan. All right, if I could plan the way the market moves, this would be what I'll be looking out for. Break 104.60, drop down towards this area here, then break lower and then bounce back up. Okay, completely reversing or completely, zeroing what happened yesterday when it drops back down again. Okay, so now with that said, then we'll look at the Kiwi dollar. Oh, look at dollar. Let's go back up to Kiwi dollar first. All right, so you see dollar coming right back down, anticipating a big move to the downside. It pushed up. It didn't break lower all the way till this morning, so you shouldn't have entered this trade. We'll take that one away for now and all that as well. Okay. A Kiwi dollar. What you could be looking out for at this point, don't even want that for now. There's just too many lines there. Take that all the way down here. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Now we look at that. That's my 50 there. Okay. So what I would be looking out for on the Kiwi is what happens here at 0.6025. All right. Right here in this point. If the Kiwi breaks, that means if this pushes down and the Kiwi breaks to the upside, then you could be looking at 6040, stop loss 25, take profit 80 to the upside. Big retrace on the Kiwi dollar. So let's look for that. Dollar, so this one, generally we're looking at DXY weakness. All right, so in this case, I'll be looking at Kiwi to buy at 0.6040, stop loss 20, take profit 25, take profit 80. Stop loss 25, take profit 80, back up into play. Okay, I don't really like how the dollar is dropping that much, or not that much, but a bit more than expected now. It could do that. before heading down. Ube saying the same for Aussie. Yes, I think the same for Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar now right up to that resistance level. In fact, I like the Aussie dollar a little bit more. Right, so I tested, didn't break lower, take that away. So those two trades didn't trigger, take that away as well. We don't need that. It's right back up to this area, needs to break this resistance before we could see further upside. But you have a little bit of a decision here. You have a little bit of a choice, right? Not so much a decision. You have a little bit of a choice here, is because you want to see what happens on the Aussie dollar at this point. I'm not ruling out the chance that it could do that back down again. Okay, so you could be looking for a rejection of that resistance at 6620, stop loss 40, take profit 80 to the downside. Or if it breaks up, let me see, I don't need that, don't need that. Break this level back up, put in those couple of levels in. Yeah, 50 there, 61. That's good. Okay, catch that one as well. Let me just check. 38, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. Let's see. Technically, I like 50 more. Okay, so what you'll be looking at for the Aussie dollar is that either it tests and reject that resistance level and then pushes right back down, or it breaks up from this point, 6680, stop loss 40, take profit, you have a good, again, 180 pips upwards that way in that region, up to that point there. Okay, so you have a bit of a choice there on the Aussie dollar that's channeling up. Why I'm giving you that choice, why I'm thinking of that choice is because the TSRI MACD seems to be slowing down, seems to be converging a little bit, could test and reject. I think that if we're looking at the Kiwi dollar to the upside, I would start considering maybe, an alternate scenario is for the Aussie dollar to test and reject back down. So 6620, 40 to 80. You do either, you wouldn't do both. All right, so 0.6620, stop loss 40, take profit 80. I think this works out quite nicely. Either look to buy the Kiwi up or look to sell the Aussie down. Look at that. It's retracing back up now slightly to that support level again. Now, with all that said, on to the pound dollar. That didn't break lower, take that away. Okay, it tested, it bounced, take that away. That didn't get in. Now, as it sits along this point at that 50% level, remember, tonight we do have the BOE with the interest rate decision. BOE with the interest rate decision. The dollar weakness now could drive, and I would love for it to do that, is to drive the pound dollar up. Dollar weakness, drive the pound dollar up towards that resistance, just so that I can look and prefer to maybe sell it back down on pound weakness with the rate cut decision to come. Okay, not so much because of dollar strength or whatever. I'm just thinking that first off, we have the BOE with their interest rate decision, 25 basis point rate cut to come. The last time they took it from 5.25 to 5 on the 1st of August. You see here, where is it? Here. On the 1st of August, we did see that one there. Hang on. At about that point, right? It sat there, it pushed, and then after that, continued down. It pushed right back down. So, kind of looking for that move as well. That's where I'll be looking for a test and reject of that resistance back down. And then, okay, what I think best case scenario, best case, best guess would be that. So now push up because of some dollar weakness, rejection on that resistance because of the BOE, right back down. FOMC rate decision, dollar weakness, push right back up again. So that's that 3 move I'm looking for. But first, I'll be looking at below 1.3, so 1.2990, stop loss 30, take profit 130 to the downside. You can go 40 here. I think 40 would be more reasonable. Noachuku, how are you doing? Will the rate cut weaken the pound? It should. Not saying that it will or it has to, but it should. It should. Okay, depending on what they say. They might. What if they said we'll cut rates this time, but that's it. No more rate cuts to come ever again. Then it's not going to weaken the pound. It's going to strengthen it. But at this point, we're anticipating some weakness to come. Hey YJ, how are you doing? Okay, so pound dollar 1.2990. 1.2990, stop loss 40, take profit 130 to the downside. Okay, there we have it. Then onto the euro dollar. It's moved perfectly, right? That point we were at, this was at 3 o'clock. I said I was going to push up, come down, zigzag around, and then we'll see. So it did push up and then it pushed down almost to our take profit. It came down about 80 pips to the downside before pushing back up again. So now on the euro dollar, what you should be looking for is the dollar weakness. The dollar weakness to push this back up above the resistance. Look for it 1.07, 1.08. Stop loss 35. Take profit. You have, well, 1:1 there. I don't think we're going to see that 125, 130. But you put 130 there, and then you would be. I think that's reasonable though. I think you can look for that. I don't see any other levels where it could hesitate. I think that if it breaks above 108.40, then we got a clear move up. Okay, so what I would tell you here is that on the euro, we look to buy at 1.08, 1.08, 35, 1.08, stop loss 1.08, stop loss 35, take profit 130 with a hesitation at 1.0840. So you have to search for that, look for that 1:1 risk reward first, right? So you look for that 1:1 risk reward first. And then if it breaks past that 61.8, you move your stop loss to break even or secure a little bit, and then drag that take profit higher to try and maximize on that move. to the upside, potentially to the upside. All right. Okay, good. Again, if you're on, if you have any questions, put into chat and let me know. Euro dollar tracking, holding, yeah, needs first off as well, just needs to break this resistance and that 38.2 level. Okay, that's just doing what we expect on the Bollinger, that's fine. Now on to the US yen. So much happened on the yen, but it didn't form a big move, right? After that big move we saw yesterday, it did push up slightly, it did continue pushing up, it didn't retrace. That's why I felt like it didn't have that strength to push up strongly. Okay, so take that away for now. So it didn't retrace. I think that if it did retrace, we could have seen a stronger push. But it sat there and then it pushed up slightly. So it pushed up and now it's retracing because of that dollar weakness that's in play. Now, at this point, 23, that's fine. Take all that away. Edson, you have the link. You can subscribe to my mailing list, and then the link for Discord will be sent out to you as well. Okay, and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Now, US yen pushing down. You're most welcome, Edson. US yen pushing down. Dollar index needs to break that support to the downside. So this needs to break. The big factor here is that it needs to break this support. It's gone outside of the Bollinger, it's retracing, it's going to take some time. You want to see it break this support level before we could see some downside. I'm actually not super keen on the yen to the downside at this point in time. Unless we see that big weakness on the dollar, I feel like you look at the trend on the yen. Take that away. Look at the trend on the yen. It's had the big push, right? It had the big drop, found that support. We don't even need that for now. Found, take some of these lines away. Too many lines. I like a cleaner look, okay? It's came all the way down, it's found the support, it's pushed right back up. And actually, if you look at this points here, like that, this is down to this level. If it can break 153.50, we could see it trade down. Why I'm hesitating so much is I actually think that it could do that and push back up. I'm actually more tempted to think of that than for it to break down, because there's also the 50% level that needs to break. So I'm actually thinking of that more as an alternate scenario. I'm giving many different scenarios here, right across the board, because it does feel like we could see this push back up. So 153.65, stop loss 40, take profit. You can do 100 back up, right? I'll look for that. I don't want to go full on dollar weakness. I don't go full on dollar strength. We're going to cover our bases this way. Okay, so 153.65. 153.65, stop loss 40, take profit 100. to the upper side. The new Mr. Yen has been jawboning on yen moves. He, he was jawboning until he lost majority of the parliament. Then then it started pushing right back up, and then now with potentially that dollar strength back into play, that's why I'm a bit hesitant on that big move to the downside. Look at it, still trying to push. All right. So yes, he was when he first came on. I forgot what's the name. Um, no, I forgot what's the name. He was jawboning it down, but I think he's lost the majority, so it's lost that strength in his jawboning. All right. So that's the US yen. Again, remember euro dollar. We're looking Miruma. No, I thought it was another guy. But yeah, that guy as well. But not so much strength from Miruma. I can't remember what's that guy's name. Um, Never mind. I'll put it in the Discord chat when I remember. So now euro dollar looking like it might push up. We look at the euro yen with a lot of chop and change in this area, so that didn't trigger. Take that away. It found the support and bounced. It's at this point, and if you look at this, it's very ugly. It's very ugly. I wouldn't do anything in the middle. I would think that maybe the best case to do will be if it breaks above this point. So euro yen right now, euro yen looks like it's going to stay within this range. Right, it's going to stay within this range. What would be good is that if it does come down and then test back up, but it's going to stay within this range. I think the safer option will be either to get in above 166. So you're looking at 166.15, tight stop 20 pips, take profit 60 to the upside there or 50 to the upside there. Or if it breaks down, then you'll be looking at 164.80, stop loss about 40 pips or less, even 30 pips, and take profit right back down to that 100 to the downside there. But nothing in the middle right now. Okay, then onto pound yen. Didn't test lower. I wished it tested lower, but it didn't. Then it bounced back up. Almost got to that resistance level before trying again. If you take that away, at this point here, you see that little bullish trend line pushing up. Too many lines, too many lines. Let me see. We don't actually need any of this. I think that's reasonable. All right. So again, what I would be, okay, pound dollar with the rates decision, possible downside on the pound dollar could drag the pound yen down. What I want to see maybe is that, and then that. It's the same pattern as yesterday. US yen maybe pushing down a little bit, could drag the pound yen down, bounce there. Okay, good. Then what I would be looking for would be only below 9825, where you'd be looking at 0.198, sorry, 198. Stop loss would be about 50. Take profit, you have a good 150 to the downside. just towards this point here. All right, test, bounce, break. Yeah, that's what I'll look out for. Um, Again, we've just had huge moves yesterday, right? We just had huge moves yesterday, so it does look like prices are a bit erratic right now. So you just want to be very careful. It's all moved, but it's all hesitating a little bit at this point as markets open. The Europe and the UK markets open. Okay, then on to the Swiss franc. Onto the Swiss franc, we looked at that to sit across, push up, and test lower. It hasn't, but I think that if this does break down below 23.6, this could be a relatively straightforward move back down. Depends on what happens here. See that if it breaks this area, we're just at the point, we're right at that biting point where the dollar is at that decision point. If it breaks down, then we've got that whole dollar weakness, and it's all straightforward to trade against the dollar to that dollar weakness. If it doesn't and it finds this point, so if it finds this level and then it does this back up, wait, if it does this and then later tonight maybe come back down again, then it's going to be another different kind of play. So that's what you kind of want to maybe watch out for. It's what's going to happen right at this point. Crucial point. Okay, because I'm looking at the Swiss franc. I don't think that we should be buying it up, but it looks like there's a chance. Um, Alternatively, you'll be looking at 8735, stop loss 20, 25, take profit 50 to the downside. I don't particularly like this that much, but that's a short, quick trade that you could look out for. Okay, so 8735, 25 to 50. We've got a whole mixed bag of setups here. Sell at 0.8735, stop loss 25, take profit 50 to the downside. Why I say a whole mixed bag? Because we're looking to buy Kiwi or sell Aussie. We're looking to sell pound with the rate decision. We're looking to buy euro or potential dollar weakness. We're looking to buy the US yen if we see the dollar strengthen back up. We're looking at Swiss franc to sell down if the dollar weakens and that Swiss keeps pushing lower. All right. So it's all over the place. You just want to stay a bit flexible at this point. US CAD, the loonie is doing exactly as we had. It's pushed down, so I'll keep that view. I'm anticipating for it to come down towards that 1.3820 level. If you haven't got into this already, then what you should be looking at would be below. I don't like it. If you haven't got into it already, don't do anything, right? Look for, you could do a short-term trade, quick scalps down to 1.3820. It's about 60 pip move to the downside, but it could okay, tell you what you could look out for here. You can look out for this push there, right? So you look for a test and reject. Maybe We see that hold and bounce back up, and later tonight we see it come back down. Then you see that happen. So you're looking for a test and reject. 1.3910, stop loss 20, take profit. You're looking back down at 80 pips again. Okay, so we're looking at 1.3910, stop loss 20, take profit 80. Oops, not TO. Take profit 80 to the downside. It's not been easy trying to kind of figure out whether it's going to break or not, or bounce or not. But we've got down to the last one, which is on gold, where it's had that. So we're talking about this. We're a bit, I think generally we're a bit surprised that we saw gold drop that much. I did sell it down, made some money selling it to the downside, closed off this morning as it found that low. Right now it's bouncing. It looks like it's bouncing back up again. That dollar weakness could drive gold back up, and you see the TSRI pushing it up, right? Crossed over and indicating some upside. Now, if you look at this, what you want it to do is break above 2680, right? It is pushing back up. If it can break above 2680, then you could see further upside, possibly to 2700 and 27. I don't think it's go that high. I think we'll first target that. Right? So gold in this case we'll be looking at needs to break 2780 to trade up to 27. I'm missing something. Hang on. 2680. There we go. Figured that one out. 2680 to trade up to 2700. Alrighty. Took a while, but we got through it. Again, at this point, if you have any questions, put it into the chat and let me know. And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. With all that said, please remember there are big news coming, a huge news coming. It's going to be volatility is going to be high. It's going to be choppy because we've seen a huge news yesterday, and we got a whole series of news to be released later today as well. So, I only thing I can guarantee you is choppiness and high volatility. So please be super extra careful. Trade well, trade safe. I'll see you on Discord. If not, I'll see you tomorrow on live stream. Take care now. Bye bye.